Hello Amrita Kairali, it's me RJ Vipin joining with you from Amrita Kairali Vidya Bhavan School Radio, SRADHA. Relations between the nations of our world have always proven to be beneficial and developmental for their people, resources and financial situations. This is particularly true in terms of great distress where countries help each other for survival. Today, we will be discussing the important features of G20, an international organization working towards addressing major issues related to the global economy. G20 has become a very influential organization which works towards achieving several goals for the welfare of the world.
What is G20? The G20 is an international forum comprising of 19 sovereign countries, the European Union and African Union. It works to address major issues related to the global economy such as international financial stability, climate change and sustainable development. The G20 is composed of most of the world's largest economists finance ministers, both industrialized and developed countries, in account for about 80% of GWD, 75% of international trade union, and two-thirds of global population and 60% of world's land area.
The G20 was founded in 1999 in response to several world economic crises. Since 2008, it has convened at least once a year with summits involving each member's head of government or state, finance minister or foreign minister and other high-ranking officials. The EU is represented by the European Central Bank. Other countries, international organizations and non-governmental organizations are invited to attend the summits, some permanently. In 2023, during its 2023 summit, the African Union joined as its 21st member.
In its 2009 summit, G20 declared itself the primary venue for international economic and financial cooperation. The group's stature has risen to the subsequent decade and it is recognized by analysis and exercising considerable global influence. It is also criticized for its limited membership, lack of reinforcement powers, and for the land undermining for the existing international institutions.
History of G20. The G20 is the latest in a series of post-World War II initiatives aimed at international coordination of economic policy, which include institutions such as the Bretton Woods Twins, the International Monetary Fund, and the World Bank, and what is now the World Trade Organization. The G20 was foreshadowed at the Cologne summit of the G7 in June 1999 and formally established at the G7 finance ministers meeting on 26 September 1999 with an inaugural meeting on 15 to 16 December 1999 in Berlin. Canadian Finance Minister Paul Martin was chosen as the first chairman and German Finance Minister Hans Eichel hosted the meeting. Early topics. The G20's primary focus has been governance of the global economy. Summit themes have varied from year to year. The theme of the 2006 G20 ministerial meeting was building and sustaining prosperity. The issues discussed included domestic reforms to achieve sustained growth, global energy and resource commodity markets, reform of the World Bank and IMF, and the impact of demographic changes.
Members of G20. As of 2023, there are 21 in the group agenda: Brazil, Canada, China, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, Mexico, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, South Korea, Turkey, the United Kingdom, the United States, the European and African Union, In September 2023, at the 18th G20 summit, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced that the African Union has been included at the G20, making it the 21st member.
Role of Asian countries. A 2011 report released by the Asian Development Bank (ADB) predicted that large Asian economies such as China and India would play a more important role in global economic governance in the future. The ADB furthermore noted that Asian countries had led the global recovery following the late 2000s recession. Agenda of G20. Financial focus. The initial G20 agenda, as conceived by US, Canadian, and German policymakers, was very much focused on the sustainability of sovereign debt and global financial stability in an inclusive format that would bring in the largest developing economies as equal partners. During a summit in November 2008, the leaders of the group pledged to contribute trillions to international financial organizations, including the World Bank and IMF, mainly for re-establishing the global financial system. Since inception, the recurring themes covered by G20 summit participants have related in priority to global economic growth, international trade, and financial market regulations. Growth and sustainability. The G20 countries account for almost 75% of global carbon emissions. After the adoption of the UN Sustainable Development Goals and the Paris Climate Agreement in 2015, more issues of global significance were added to the G20 agenda. Migration, digitization, employment, healthcare, the economic empowerment of women, development aid, and stopping climate change.
These are the essential information regarding G20. It is necessary for us to know about such international organizations so as to become aware of all the developments in the world. That's for today. It's me, Ajay Gayatri, signing off.